Kylie Jenner introduced a triangular-shaped makeup brush designed to make foundation application easier. She marketed it as if Kylie Cosmetics had come up with a groundbreaking innovation. But in reality, she wasn't the original creator. The true mastermind behind the brush was a Brazilian designer named Mari Maria, who had even patented the design in Brazil. The catch? She had only secured the patent in Brazil, not worldwide. Since she wasn't selling the product internationally, she hadn't pursued patents in other countries. This is where Kylie saw an opportunity. She swooped in and patented the design globally, giving herself the legal right to sell it everywhere except Brazil, Mari's only protected market. The situation was outrageous. It was clear that once again, Kylie is always looking for others' ideas to expand her own brand. But the least she could have done was acknowledge the original creator. Given the patent situation, she could have reached out to Mari Maria, negotiated a royalty deal, or even paid her a one-time fee for the design. But she didn't. Instead, she went ahead with the launch without any credit or compensation to the original designer. And on top of that, she had the audacity to call it her own design. Naturally, Mari Maria was upset. But legally, there was little she could do. This kind of behavior is nothing new for the Kardashian Jenners. Hello again, or welcome back to our channel. Today, we're going to talk about these so-called self-made fashion influencers and what's really happening behind this glamorous fashion industry. The world is enamored with the lavish and glamorous lifestyles of models and fashion influencers. Ask a young child what they want to be when they grow up, and chances are they'll say an actor, actress, or model. But what really happens behind the scenes of the modeling industry? How much truth is there to the dark stories of harassment and exploitation, even leading some models to take their own lives? Modeling agencies certainly don't have their models' best interests at heart, because if they did, they wouldn't be making nearly as much money. When it comes to the modeling industry, the Kardashians and Jenners are always at the top. Their entire business empire is built on illusions. Meanwhile, fast fashion has become an environmental nightmare. The industry is responsible for 20% of industrial water pollution and 10% of global carbon emissions. Producing just one shirt requires 2,700 liters of water. A single pair of jeans? Nearly 2,400 gallons. But what about all the big brands selling their clothes under the banner of sustainability? Is there any truth to these claims? Or is it all just clever marketing? Let's break down the fashion industry, which can be categorized into three major sectors. The first is modeling. You've seen it. Models walking the ramp in extravagant outfits, posing for high-end photoshoots, starring in ad campaigns. But what you don't see is the years of struggle behind just one runway appearance or photo. Then there's the cosmetics and beauty industry, followed by the clothing sector, which has a massive environmental impact. The fashion modeling industry alone is worth $62.67 billion and is projected to grow to $148.5 billion by 2032. But it operates in a disturbingly shady manner. A model's career begins when they are signed by an agency. The first international modeling agency was established in 1946, and by the mid-20th century, publications like Vogue and Harper's Bazaar started featuring models. Today, thousands of agencies exist, but only a select few are considered the elite. Being signed by one of them is supposed to open doors to major opportunities. That couldn't be further from the truth. Modeling contracts are notoriously exploitative. Most of the glamorous photo shoots and runway shows you see, they aren't even paid. In reality, only a fraction of modeling work is compensated. The biggest issue? Well, a model's rights aren't their own. Their agency owns them. The agency decides everything, from how much the model earns to how much they spend on travel and rent. And here's the worst part. Models are not allowed to see payment receipts. Take an example of a model who signed with Next Modeling Agency at just 16. Her first booked photoshoot was with a photographer who had public allegations of sexual abuse against him. She was also instructed to eat cotton balls to control her weight. After shedding 20 pounds to walk for Louis Vuitton, Chanel, and Marc Jacobs during Fashion Week, her compensation for 6 weeks of work was a mere $130. On social media, the lives of models appear glamorous. The reality is the complete opposite. The income in this career is highly inconsistent. Most of the work people see models doing is actually unpaid. It's done to build their portfolios, just for exposure. Even when models are paid, the amounts are meager, and the work hours are brutal. According to a report, 81% of models suffer from anxiety, 68% battle depression, and nearly every second model has an eating disorder. Around 38% rely on diet pills. The root cause? Unrealistic beauty standards and extreme expectations. Even women who are already underweight are still told to lose more weight. You can look at Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo as examples. They've lost a lot of weight due to these diets. And these days, Ariana looks almost skeletal. In this industry, a model's body is everything. They cannot afford to compromise on any aspect, whether it's their skin, face, hair, or physique. And to maintain these impossible standards, many turn to external enhancements. Botox, surgeries, hair transplants. Procedures that are expensive and often risky. A shocking 82% of models experience some form of sexual harassment. And the agencies themselves are a huge part of the problem. The reason? Financial dependence. The contract a model signs at the start of their career is renewed over and over again for years, regardless of their rising popularity. No matter how much their fame grows, they remain stuck in a cycle of financial control. The end result? A career where models remain in perpetual debt to their agencies, with little power to change their fate. In the world of fashion and modeling, power dynamics have always played a significant role. This imbalance makes it all too easy for influential figures to exploit those trying to make a name for themselves. Consider figures like Jeffrey Epstein and Harvey Weinstein. Both had extensive ties to the modeling industry. Epstein's close associate and a French model agent, Jean-Luc Brunel, was accused of trafficking young models. Brunel was not only an investor in Next Model Management, but was also linked to the agency's co-founder, Faith Cates. Reports suggested that he introduced aspiring models to Epstein, offering them career opportunities in return for sexual favors. And this is just one of many such cases. The dark side of the fashion industry remains largely hidden, buried underneath the glitz and glamour. Numerous stories of exploitation go untold, their voices drowned out by the industry's dazzling facade. Some tragedies have captured public attention, like the case of Chesley Corinne Christ, Miss USA 2019, who tragically ended her life by jumping from the 29th floor of a building on January 30, 2022. Authorities cited the struggles of her modeling career as a significant factor. Chesley was only 30 years old at the time. There are many others whose names never make it to the mainstream headlines, like Woo Sung-young, a Korean model who passed away only at age 24, and Julia Gomez. These names are just the tip of the iceberg. The actual number of affected individuals remains unknown. From outside, the fashion and modeling industry presents an image of luxury and success, sparkling and appealing. But in reality, it operates in a way that few dare to question. After all, how does one stand against an industry that is worth even trillions? Western modeling trends have now firmly taken root around the globe, influencing young aspirants drawn to the field by its promise of glamour and prestige. However, the reality is starkly different. Success in modeling is rare, and it all hinges on visibility. The pursuit of popularity has turned into an unrelenting competition, with models obsessing over their social media following. The fine line between elegance and excess is becoming increasingly blurred, and many have already crossed it. Among the most influential forces shaping modern fashion is the Kardashian-Jenner family. Their impact on beauty standards is unparalleled, particularly among Gen Z audiences. For many, they represent the ultimate ideal, an illusion of self-made success. But behind their meteoric rise is a carefully crafted strategy, masterminded by Kris Jenner, the family's business-savvy matriarch. Kris's journey began with her marriage to Robert Kardashian, with whom she had daughters Kim, Kourtney, and Khloe. Following their divorce, she married Caitlyn Jenner and had 2 more daughters, Kylie and Kendall Jenner. The family's breakthrough came with their reality show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, which aired for 20 seasons. Following the show's massive success, Forbes reported that Kim Kardashian had generated $1 billion in revenue through various ventures, including a cosmetics line, shapewear brand, and mobile game. Kim's enormous social media influence benefited her younger sisters as well. Kylie and Kendall Jenner entered the fashion industry at ages 10 and 13, respectively. Over time, their growing popularity enabled them to build their own business empires. Of all their ventures, Kylie Cosmetics became the most widely recognized. The brand's rapid rise led to Kylie being declared the youngest self-made billionaire. However, later reports revealed that the company had manipulated its financial data to appear more successful than it actually was. Many consumers also criticized the brand's products for their poor quality. Despite these revelations, media outlets continue to frame Kylie Cosmetics as the reason behind her transformation. But the real story lies elsewhere. They often present their products as a result of extensive research and development by their team, but in reality, they're frequently borrowing ideas from others. More recently, Kylie found herself in another controversy, this time involving fashion. However, this case is a bit more complicated. It's not entirely clear whether it's outright theft or just a coincidence. Earlier this year, Kylie registered the names Kai and Kai Studios for her upcoming clothing brand. Not long after, she officially announced the brand, revealing a collection that included 4 black leather outfits. She shared photos of herself wearing these pieces, which are set to be released soon under the Kai label. Along with these, she also unveiled other upcoming designs. Then, in October 2023, a designer named Betsy came forward with an interesting claim. She revealed that she had emailed Kylie and her team 6 months earlier, sharing product concepts, branding ideas, and a line sheet. And according to Betsy, Kylie had shown interest. However, it's unclear why Betsy sent that email in the first place. One possibility is that she was hoping to be hired as a designer for Kylie's new brand. It's common for independent designers to send their concepts to the Kardashian-Jenners, hoping for an opportunity to collaborate. But whether Kylie's new collection was directly influenced by Betsy's work remains uncertain. Betsy didn't hold back when she accused Kylie of outright stealing her concept. She took to social media, posting multiple stories calling her out. When people placed designs from Kai and Products Limited side by side, the internet split into 2 camps. Some were quick to accuse Kylie of theft yet again, while others pointed out that black outfits and coats aren't exactly a groundbreaking concept. Aside from the color, they claimed there weren't enough similarities to call it copying. The online debate heated up, with people taking sides. One user supported Betsy, writing, "Kylie, the privileged Nepo baby, has no originality. I'm so sick of these rich kids stealing from middle-class creatives and passing them off as their own." Betsy emailed Kylie and her team 6 months ago with her designs and ideas. She sent them samples, they ignored her, and then they suddenly launched Kai with the same concept? On the flip side, some people defended Kylie and turned the accusations back to Betsy. Under one of her posts, commenters pointed out that her own work looked eerily similar to Balenciaga's. At the moment, there's no clear verdict on whether Kai stole designs or if it's just a coincidence. But one thing is certain. The Kardashian-Jenners have built quite a reputation in the fashion and beauty world. In fact, there's a well-known saying in the industry: never send the Kardashians your designs or concepts. They'll reject you, but steal your ideas anyway. And Kylie isn't the only one. This pattern runs deep in the family. Take the triangular makeup brush case. It was blatant theft. But that's just one example. Kylie has been caught multiple times doing the same thing. It's become routine at this point. Khloe Kardashian has also been caught doing the same. She owns a fashion brand, and once, she replicated an entire collection from another designer. When people compared them, it was obvious. Khloe's version was a near replica. Kim Kardashian hasn't escaped these accusations either. She was even sued for allegedly stealing the idea for Kimoji. According to the lawsuit, the original idea belonged to someone else, a man who pitched it to Kim, hoping to partner with her. She assured him they would go into business together, but instead she took the concept and launched it herself, cutting him out entirely. And it doesn't stop there. Kylie has even copied ideas from a makeup artist, using his concept in one of her campaigns without crediting him. There's a big difference between being inspired by something and straight up stealing it. The problem with the Kardashian-Jenners isn't that they take inspiration, it's that they refuse to acknowledge the original creators. If they simply credited or tagged the designer they borrow from, many would probably accept it as a trade-off for the massive exposure that comes with their Kardashian endorsement. But that never happens. They take and take, giving nothing in return. Kylie has even been accused of stealing packaging designs from other brands. In some cases, their tactics are so shameless, it's almost laughable. The Kardashians and Jenners reportedly browse independent designers' work online, whether it's fashion, accessories, or beauty, order their products, and then months later, launch a nearly identical version under their own brand. They tweak the branding and the photos, but everything else remains strikingly similar. For clothing, they replicate cuts, fabrics, and prints. For makeup, they study product formulations and repackage them. So why don't more designers sue them? Well, many have tried, but let's be realistic. Lawsuits are expensive. Many small business owners simply don't have the financial means to go up against a billion-dollar empire. They can't afford top-tier lawyers, court fees, or drawn-out legal battles. Meanwhile, the Kardashian-Jenners have an entire team of attorneys dedicated to protecting their interests. At the end of the day, it's not just about money. It's about power. And the Kardashian-Jenners know exactly how to use theirs. The Kardashian-Jenners have perfected the art of controlling public perception. Their empire thrives on media manipulation and the public's fixation on beauty and wealth. They perpetuate an unattainable beauty standard, ensuring that people remain caught in a cycle of self-doubt and aspiration. In today's world, self-obsession begins at an alarmingly young age. Thanks to digital media, people are constantly comparing themselves to unrealistic airbrushed images. The truth? Every image associated with the Kardashian-Jenner brand is meticulously edited, an illusion, carefully constructed for mass consumption. Even if an unedited image of a celebrity goes viral, their PR teams swiftly take it down. This is just one example of the extreme image control in the industry. Many businesses have grown by exploiting artists, stealing their designs without paying royalties. The Jenner and Kardashian families have built their empires using similar tactics. These elites have fueled a rat race of self-obsession, where the more self-absorbed people become, the more they strive to appear perfect and wealthy. This obsession directly benefits their brands, driving demand for an unattainable lifestyle. But this relentless pursuit of perfection has also given rise to a dangerous consequence: fast fashion. Behind the illusion of flawless looks and high fashion lies a harsh reality: unpaid labor, sweatshops, and severe environmental damage. The world behind fashion designers' glamorous clothing is far from the glitz we see. Sweatshops are factories where most brands manufacture their clothes under exploitative conditions. Bangladesh is the second largest textile producer in the world after China, yet the working conditions of its laborers remain largely unspoken. The Rana Plaza collapse in Bangladesh is a tragic example of this neglect. Over 1,100 garment workers lost their lives. Similarly, the Tazreen fashion factory fire killed 112 workers and left many injured. The essence of fast fashion is rapid mass production. Today, brands like Zara and H&M release new collections every week. In the past, these brands would launch just 4 collections a year, but now that number exceeds 52. The pressure to produce at this speed is enormous, leading to severe environmental consequences. For instance, producing just one pair of jeans requires 2,000 gallons of water. Fast fashion is responsible for 20% of industrial water pollution and contributes to 10% of global carbon emissions. The focus of the industry is speed and affordability, not quality or sustainability. In Chile's Atacama Desert, 750 acres of land have been turned into dumping grounds for discarded clothing, so vast that they are visible from space. And this is not an isolated case. Across the world, thousands of tons of unsold or out-of-trend clothes are discarded, contributing to massive textile waste. The fashion industry alone emits 1.2 billion tons of carbon dioxide annually. Big brands like H&M and Zara manufacture in sweatshops of other countries like Bangladesh because of low production costs due to cheap labor. The Rana Plaza collapse was a direct result of cost-cutting measures. Factories compromised on building quality to keep expenses low. This ultimately led to a catastrophic building collapse, killing over 1,300 workers. Following this tragedy, Western companies took action, launching the Accord on Fire and Building Safety, an initiative ensuring clothing brands would only source from factories meeting specific safety, wage, and environmental standards. These included purifying water used in production and providing workers with safe working conditions. However, meeting these requirements increased manufacturing costs. When factory owners asked Zara and H&M for financial support, Zara ignored the request, while H&M outright refused, choosing profit over worker safety. If you've ever purchased clothing from Zara or H&M, you've likely seen a sustainable tag. But how much truth is behind this claim? Brands promote the idea that they recycle old clothes to create new collections, reducing waste. This marketing tactic builds consumer confidence, making people buy more without guilt. H&M even offers a 15% discount when customers drop off old clothes for recycling. In 2019, H&M collected 29,000 tons of old clothes, yet recycling them is nearly impossible. Most of these garments contain polyester, a petroleum-based fabric, with very little cotton, because polyester is cheaper. While cotton decomposes in just 5 months, polyester takes over 200 years. The recycled tags on fast fashion items are nothing more than a greenwashing strategy, designed to manipulate customers into believing they are making eco-friendly choices. In reality, these brands thrive on consumer guilt while continuing their unsustainable practices. Today, this cycle is further fueled by social media trends. Many people refuse to post photos in repeated outfits, believing it diminishes their online image. This never-ending rat race of self-obsession benefits corporations, while harming the environment and trapping society in materialism. The Kardashian-Jenner family has built a reputation for borrowing, some would say outright stealing, design ideas and products from independent creators. Over the years, they've been exposed multiple times, yet they always manage to find loopholes to continue these practices. And on the other hand, the talented models were exploited by the agencies. So that's it for today. Until then, take care and thanks for watching to the end.